Yesterday night, Damasio done his daily Serie A update where he breaks down who each team in the Serie A is inquiring, looking to sign, looking to cash in on. When it came to Juventus, number one, Jadon Sancho. The deal is practically done. It's just about agreeing a financial package with Manchester United. Sancho wants Juve, Juve wants Sancho. Manchester United are happy to let him go. The second name was Samuel and Bangala to Werder Bremen. Now, do I agree with this deal? No, to be completely honest. Like, if I was just to keep it short and sweet, I look at it like this. And Bangala, for me, whenever he was trusted last season, he showed he can deliver the goods. When Koop Miners was trusted last season, he showed he couldn't deliver the goods. When Nico Gonzalez was trusted last season, he showed he couldn't deliver the goods. When Conceição was trusted last season, he showed he couldn't deliver the goods. And yes, every single one of them had this good game and that good game, and they scored a goal in this good game. I'm not just looking at it from an outputs perspective. I'm just looking at it from a performances perspective. And Bangala, for me, was the one that was least trusted out of all of them, given the least amount of minutes. And whenever he performed, he stepped up and delivered the goods. And for that reason, I would never ever cash in on an asset of high productivity, an asset that's actually delivering the goods, and keep assets that heading into the new Serie A campaign, Juventus are taking a gamble on. Because it is true, Juventus are taking a gamble on Koop Miners. Can he replicate the performances of Atalanta? We don't know. Can Nico Gonzalez, if he was to stay, replicate the performances of Fiorentina? We don't know. Can Conceição develop his game, refine his game, be a bit more consistent with his decision making? We don't know. Will it happen this season? Next season? We don't know. So that's already 3 gambles. Jonathan David is a gamble. He is. You don't know if he's going to replicate the Lille performances. How long will it take Jonathan David to buy into Tudor? For Tudor to buy into his own strengths, weaknesses, for him to integrate him into the team? How long will it take Jonathan David to settle in Italy? It takes players a while to settle into a new country, a foreign league, the intensity, the physicality. How long will it take? Jadon Sancho, how long will it take him to settle? I look at it like that. And for that reason, I would never ever cash in on a player where I know if he was to start first game of the Serie A, I'm looking at him thinking, you can have an impact. You can deliver the goods. You can have a good game. But listen, profits is profits. But anyways, the third name which was mentioned was Marcus Rashford from Manchester United. Now, Juventus are not really pursuing it, but Juventus have just asked questions. Is he available? If so, how much? What are his wage demands? Is he happy to come to Italy, to the Serie A? Is he happy to come to Juventus? Is he happy to maybe play second fiddle to somebody like Jonathan David? Is he willing to work with Tudor? We're just asking questions for a friend. Now, what do we make of this? What do we make of Juventus potentially signing Marcus Rashford? Now, when it comes to me, I break it down in 2 ways. Number one, I don't really get the transfer strategy, only because I feel like after signing David, Conceição, Jadon Sancho, Juventus should now focus on selling players, but if they were to recruit defenders. Juventus are not signing one luxury defender to be a backup. No, they need 2 defenders to be starters, okay? If they can't get 2, the bare minimum should be 1. Juventus are going from attacker to attacker, winger to winger. When it comes to the defenders, it's always, Juventus are interested in the Stuttgart defender. Okay, what's next? If the next step is you express your interest, then you book them for a one-on-one tiramisu date and then a pizza in the evening just to put pen to paper, let's do it. Let's do it. I don't know. I feel like Juventus should really start now focusing on centre-halves because it will bite them in the arse when the Serie A campaign starts. And you have to bear in mind, teams are open to selling in the early stages of the transfer window. The closer you approach to season starting, every team will look at Juventus and be like, listen, a month ago, I was happy to sell him to you for 30 million. But now, with the new season starting, and now I have to go and find a new replacement, and I have to integrate this new replacement. That's too much work. That might cost me the start of the season. So because of that, I don't want 30 million anymore. I want 45 million. That's just how I look at things. But anyways, the player is Marcus Rashford. What do we make of it? What do we make of it? Does it make sense? Financially, I feel like it will be too expensive. But I feel like very similar to Sancho in a sense. Rashford needs to take a wage cut to leave Manchester United, and I feel like he will be more than happy to take a wage cut to go to Juventus. 1, the size of the club. 2, the fact that he's still playing Champions League football. 3, something which will aid Juventus a lot in negotiations is if Jadon Sancho comes to Juventus. He's now got a friend. He's got somebody that he knows, somebody that he's played with. It makes sense. Like, I feel like sometimes some players, they're not ready to make that step up and go to a foreign league where they don't know anybody. But when you know somebody there, whether it's a coach, a teammate, an assistant manager, it helps. When it comes to Marcus Rashford, it's crazy. Like, this is one of those ones where I feel like it will definitely like split opinions. Rashford, for me, I put him in a very different bracket to somebody like Sancho. Sancho, for me, is in the bracket of Joao Felix. Ridiculously talented. They could have been some of the world's best of players. But they never had the desire. They never wanted it enough. They always looked for the excuse. Rashford, for me, I actually put him in that bracket of he's a wounded animal. Like, he's a player that's been there, done it before in times, put the entire team on his back and carried them, played through injuries. Rashford's biggest setbacks throughout his entire career, in my opinion, is one, he never mastered a position. This is just my opinion. He never mastered a position. When he was doing well on the left-hand side, a new coach came in and wanted to play him as a striker. When he started to play well as a striker, a new coach came in, wanted to play him on the left-hand side. When you're constantly chopping and changing between playing as a striker and playing as a winger, it disrupts your development so much as a player. That's why now when people look at Rashford, they don't really know, what is he? Is he a winger? Is he a striker? Like, what is he? He can play in both, but which one is the role that he's mastered? I feel like the lack of discipline in his positioning is definitely what's held him back. 2, that has contributed to poor development. 3, attitude. I'll be honest with you guys. Attitude has been his biggest setback. And I feel like as of late, like, he is a player of a big ego. He is a player with a lot of financial demand. But I'll be honest with you guys. He is definitely a player. Like, in my opinion, if he was to come to Juventus, he would take them 2-3 levels up. Like, I'll be honest with you guys. A Marcus Rashford with a smile on his face, playing his football, coach trusting him, got his arm across his shoulder, buying into him, new environment, new country. Rashford is one of those players that I would label game changer. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't look at Sancho and say game changer. Sancho's got a ridiculous ceiling, but very similar to Rashford, attitude. But I feel like when it comes to Rashford, I genuinely feel like Rashford wants it more than somebody like Sancho. Like, I've seen Rashford do it week in, week out. Step up when nobody else has stepped up. And I feel like in the final third, he's far more penetrative than somebody like Sancho. He can score you goals. He can play make. He can get assists. He can score from all over the pitch. 30 yards, 40 yards, in the box, headers. He can carry the ball. He can dribble. As much as he hasn't really mastered a position, I feel like his versatility can definitely help Juventus, whether it's by being second fiddle to somebody like Jonathan David or playing on the left-hand side in rotation with somebody like Kenan Yildiz. Now, there's a lot of question marks behind this. Financially, does it make sense? I don't really know the finances. Like, I don't really know how big of a wage cut he's willing to take. I don't really know how much Juventus are willing to offer. Now, in my opinion, both of them are very high risk, high reward signings. When it comes to Sancho, when it comes to Marcus Rashford, yes, financially they might not cost you much. But I feel like there's a reason why both of them have reached this stage of their career where not many clubs across the world want them, and Manchester United are desperate to let them go. But if I was a betting man, if I was somebody that gambles, I would probably put all my money on Rashford being a player turning it around. Mainly because I feel like he wants it more. He's one of those players where his attitude has held him back. His lack of development has held him back. His lack of consistently starting in the same position week in, week out has definitely held him back. Like, he hasn't mastered a position. All of these things have held him back. But at the same time, I feel like he hasn't really done himself many favours. And maybe both of them need a fresh lease of life. Different country, different league, different coach, different fan base. Like, where they're not under the spotlight constantly. But Rashford, for me, is a good player. Like, Rashford's got weapons. Rashford can score you goals. He can play make. Do you know what the thing is? It's a massive gamble that Juventus are taking if they were to pursue this. Because I feel like he'll definitely be more than happy to come to Juventus. The problem is, you're not really questioning their footballing ability. Do you know what I mean? Like, similar to what I mentioned about Conceição yesterday. I question more his football ability more than his attitude, his commitment, his desire. With Sancho and Rashford, I don't really question their footballing ability. I question more their commitment, their desire, their attitude, their eagerness to grow, develop, contribute on a consistent basis. And that's why, for me, like I said, the Conceição signing for me is a gamble. Both of these deals are a gamble, but if Juventus can manage to turn it around and get these players to go back to playing the game the way they've shown in the past, Juventus are seriously laughing. They are seriously laughing because they've now managed to get themselves two great players for such a cheap price of a good age that could genuinely revamp this entire team. The problem is history has shown not many clubs have managed to get something out of these two in the past 24 months. And that's why it's a gamble. That's why not many clubs are looking at them. Not many clubs are inquiring about them. But it feels like Juventus are willing to take this gamble. I don't know. Like, I'll definitely be open to Rashford coming to Juventus, but I don't know. Like, I can't turn around and tell you guys this is guaranteed to succeed. This is guaranteed to fail. I don't know. But if I had to put my money on one of them turning it around, I would definitely put my money more on Rashford than somebody like Sancho. It's just my opinion. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.